So I know in the past, you and I have spoken about the origins of hip hop, but recently things have gotten a little more crazy because KRS-One came out and said anyone that tries to deny the involvement of Puerto Ricans is stupid. And he said it was foundational Black Americans, Jamaicans, and Puerto Ricans that created hip hop. Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian said that was BS, and he's been challenging everyone to debate, including Fat Joe, Crazy Legs, and more. I don't know if you saw, but Tariq Nasheed, he came out with a documentary debating Puerto Rican involvement in the creation of hip hop. What do you think about all of this?
Well, I can only tell you my experience. I wasn't there when hip hop was founded. But I've had a conversation with Ralph McDaniels. I was interviewed on his Video Music Box show. And before we were even on camera, we were talking about the origin of hip hop. And I was saying, listen, I feel like hip hop is the bastard child of Latin music. Now, keep in mind, Latin music is not just what we think Latin is, because we Latinos are just a mixture of, African, all the, many different races, right? The thing is, African rhythms were taken to the Caribbean because when slaves were brought there, and so the drum and the frequencies and the rhythms of all that started to evolve, and they were brought to New York City as well. So there was a time when Boogaloo was starting to outshine all the Latin bands, and Boogaloo was a fusion of Latin rhythms, R&B, and soul, right? But the guys at Fania, they started getting jealous because these Boogaloo bands were outshining all the old salsa bands, right? So they started blacklisting them from the clubs, and that genre, I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this right now, that genre just kind of declined. And I say because of the decline of that genre, mind you, the kids had in their ears Latin rhythms. There were kids on the streets rhyming. And Ralph McDaniels told me that he was taking kids in Spanish Harlem to the studio to rap on top of Latin soul. So the music, the music strikes a chord in you. You can rap without any music, you know what I mean? But for someone to get a certain cadence and a rhythm, it does come, especially when if that music strikes a chord, now that cadence and that rhythm is in collaboration with that music. So yes, it was a mixture of everybody coming together, and I would say even the Jews and Italians, but there were few of them in there. You know what I mean? And really, it's really silly for this conversation to be had, because at the end of the day, we are all one, and everybody wants to claim to be the first one. They want to be the originator, right? It's even the same thing with Billy Carson talking about us and him and Terrence Howard. Now they're putting them together. I already clicked those two together because what Terrence Howard was saying was this centrifugal force that creates matter. But then we have Billy Carson saying that the Anunnaki, they created us, when in actuality, what I believe is that the Anunnaki, they saw mankind already that existed on Earth through pure consciousness, through centrifugal force, right? And was evolving. So they said, let us go and make man in our image. And they tampered with our DNA. So everybody wants to be the originator, right? But I don't think any one person can take credit for originating anything. It's a flash of the spirit. Regardless of where you come from, if the spirit comes within you, then you have the ability to create. So it's really just to be in a state of gratitude and appreciation, to even be able to channel and receive anything like that, to where you can even regurgitate it in art form. It is a pure blessing. And it does not originate from any one race or one human.
What do you think about Lord Jamar then saying that the DNA of hip hop will show you it has nothing to do with Puerto Rican and Jamaican culture?
I mean, that's interesting, because I've heard people say, like, when I was like, oh, hip hop is the bastard child of Latin music, they're like, oh no, it originates from reggae. And I'm like, okay, I can see that because you have the rapping and all that, but the rapping was around before even reggae was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we all got to get together and have a roundtable discussion.
Right, and that's something that he's trying to get done. He was inviting Crazy Legs, Fat Joe, all these different people, KRS, you know, to come together and talk about it and debate about it. And he said that if you're not going to show up, then shut up. You know, like if you're not really going to prove your point,
I respect that.
and everything.
But there also needs to be very key people in there. People like Ralph McDaniels. I think even somebody like DJ Clark Kent needs to be in there. Like not people that are in the media and Illuminati people, but people that have actually been in hip hop.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like that really needs to happen.
Because, you know, KRS said that hip hop couldn't have been created without Latinos, right? And Lord Jamar, he said that you can remove everybody else from hip hop and just leave black people and hip hop would be fine. But when you try to do the opposite, that's when hip hop goes to shit.
I think that sounds a little racist. You know?
Why do you think that sounds racist?
Because it's segregation, it's isolation, it's the opposite of unity. And we're all humans, and to belittle other people saying that, you know, you can't channel spirit into amazing art form is very, it's disheartening. And that's unfortunate that he said that.
One thing that he was trying to get at was like, because, you know, I believe he's a 5%er, and, you know, like that belief is kind of like everybody
they racist
comes back to the black man, basically, right? The black man is the original man. And he's saying that in hip hop, a lot of times it seems like we're constantly trying to say like we're all one, but why are we trying to separate ourselves and say like, oh, well, Puerto Ricans specifically instead of just blacks, and, you know.
Yo, we're all the tribes of Israel, period.
What does that mean? What does that mean to the viewers?
That means we all come from the same motherfucker.
So in regards to hip hop, then how would you say that is relating to that? Then you're saying that we're all part of creating it.
Well, you can't say, well, you can't, because you're now saying another human doesn't have as much pull and rapport in this realm. And really, it has nothing like this is, right now what's happening is where was this at? What platform was he talking about this on?
Well, it all started because there was a clip of KRS-One that was going viral, I think on Instagram or something. And then Lord Jamar started there in the comments. Then he started going live and talking about it. And then he went on numerous other platforms to talk about it. So he's been everywhere talking about this.
Lately?
Yes.
Lately?
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like there's somebody behind him who wants to create divide.
Well, that's what people are trying to say about the whole the Latinos pushing for the argument of 50-50. There are some people that believe, they're saying that is divisive in itself.
For what Latinos pushing 50-50?
Yeah, like that hip hop was created 50-50 between blacks and Latinos. They're saying that is a divisive debate.
I mean, well, yeah, it's a divisive debate to those who want to be divided. Get it?
Yeah.
Those who do not want to be in unity, they don't want to hear that.